All right, here we go. We're only an hour and 40 minutes into the stream, and we're going to start no, sorry, 2 hours and 40 minutes. But here for my YouTube viewers, we are doing a demo of Evoto and the current features using 174 photos I pulled out of a previous shoot, but we're just kind of like starting from scratch the raw photos. So we're going to just sort of do an all-in-one workflow with the very latest update from Evoto. Also, I'm just going to say this again. I talked about it as we were on the sort of pre-stream. Now you can export images that have only had color corrections done, and it will not use your credits. Point being that you can, do color correction, export those as proofs to fire out to your client, so you don't have to burn, a couple hundred credits to send proofs when really you're just trying to get their selects and then go in on those with the retouching. So that's actually really new and a good feature. And the only way to make sure it doesn't use the credits is to make sure that you didn't apply any of the retouching. There's no button to say, oh, only show my color on these exports so I don't get docked. You have to just only have applied color settings. So that is a new but noteworthy update that you really wouldn't find unless I told you. So, and unless Sam told me, so you're welcome and thank you, Sam. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into this sucker. And we're gonna start from scratch, and let's see what's gonna be the best window to show that doesn't cover up too much. Let's go with this one. All right, here we are with our beautiful fake couple. In the Keys, this was a shoot I did for this property, and oh, you know what? I'm gonna go big screen on this. Let's do that. It won't cover up too much. And I'll hide myself if I need to. Okay. Actually, I think I will hide myself. Let's just go. Get rid of me. Okay. So here we are. 174 photos. The first thing we're gonna do, and by the way, it's just a simple import. I actually just dragged and dropped these. Let's go to library mode first, but I have a little folder I created for Twitch demo. So I just went here, create group. I should call it a group. And then I created a project called Marquee, and that is this. One thing you can do now in the latest version is sync to a space so that you can then access these photos from multiple devices. So I don't really have a good way to show you that with the stream setup, but just know that is a newer feature and that is in there. Okay. So we're actually going to stay in the library mode and we are going to go to culling. And look, it's already recognized the two faces in this particular photo, but I want to go to smart culling. All right. So let me just quickly take a little peek in what info we have in here. So we have auto groups. This is going to be for after we do the smart culling. Photo clusters. Okay, cool. We'll get to all that in a minute. But all right. So let's go in here. Actually, before we do that, let's click on the settings. Free, limited time free access. Okay, so right now this is free to all Evoto users for a limited period and will later require a subscription plan or standalone purchase. Okay. Noted. We're going to call this I think for this shoot we can call it family. All right, and actually I'm going to say This is a cool new feature here where you can limit the total number of photos. So if I know that I'm like, hey, you know what? The client is supposed to get 25 photos, then I'd probably say, well, then show, no, let's pretend in this case the client gets 15 photos. Then I'm going to say pick the best 20. So I can maybe do a little trimming at the end. And I think that might be a safe move. Another option is to limit the best picks per cluster. And what does that mean? AI select photos within your set range, equal limits enforce an exact count. So if we did that, it would ask us to basically say, limit the best pictures from each like cluster of redundant photos. So down at the bottom, you see like probably these first two would be a cluster. Maybe all of these would be a cluster. And then I would say, yeah, pick the best two of each, or 1 to 3, right? So it can't be less than, if there was only one photo, that then you obviously can't have 3 from that cluster. So like there could be a single photo that is the cluster. So anyways, I'm just going to go to limit total. We're going to try this and try to get down to 20 photos fast from the 174. Pick more front-facing photos for me. I'm going to say yes on that. And then, by the way, whatever you set up for these settings, they will automatically apply to your next shoot unless you go back in and change them. So they'll just stay with wherever you set them. And, as if I'm really happy with the way I set this up now, I could leave this through the next 5 shoots and not worry about it. But if I got to a shoot where I'm like, you know what, this one's different, then it might need some adjusting. You can just go back in, adjust it, and then that's where it starts from now. So, okay, skip detection for laughing. So basically, it's saying if there is laughing, then don't even worry about the things I said. Oh, well, if it's out of focus, no, keep it. It's laughing. It's good. We want that. Okay. Closed eye detection, I'm going to keep that checked on so that we do get rid of photos where people's eyes are closed. Underexposed, sure. Here's what I would actually say. I would probably never use underexposed detection because you can pull photos, if you were shooting underexposed, you could, unless you were really off, you could usually pull back in the shadows. That is a strength of modern digital cameras. On the other hand, if they are highly overexposed, then that might be where you run into more problems in trying to recover highlights. So I'm going to say go ahead and low overexposure detection. Blur, I'm going to keep that checked on and just put standard. Oh, and do not mark as blurry if at least one face is, I like that. I'm going to keep that checked on because in those photos down at the bottom, I might have been shooting pretty wide open aperture. And if I was, then yeah, she might be on a slightly different plane, focal plane than the guy. But I don't want that to be a deal breaker. Cluster detection. What does that mean? Oh, that should group things. Enable AI-based photo grouping by duplicate detection and face analysis. Okay. So auto tag, yes. We're gonna say AI best picks. I like going with I'm a star guy, but however you prefer it. If you want it to be a flag. Candidates, I'm gonna say give it 3, and then not selected, I'm just gonna leave at 0. That way, I could always move one of theirs that I don't like into like a 4. I like having a little play in between what they choose as the best photos, but also what are potential candidates. Keep existing tags, sure, I'm going to do that. And let's just let this sucker rip. And I am covering it right now, but if you look down in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see it has started. It says it'll take 4 minutes. By the way, I'm going to be very honest. This is the first time I'm using this feature. So there is, if it works amazing, as I hope, then great. And if it doesn't work amazing, well, you're going to see it either way. But yeah. So 2 minutes here. I'm going to just come back on screen here for a second. Just checking the comments here real quick. While I'm waiting, we got another minute. So it's faster than it said it was going to be. Okay. 83%. We're almost there. Let's see. Also, just as we're waiting, I'm just going to kind of show you what's in here. It's a batch of this couple on the dock. Then it's a couple by the car. And then, oh, it's done. Okay. So it has narrowed down. Let's move me out of the way again. To actually, here's what I think I want to do. Let me unlock that. Let's just move me over here. That should be fine. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just say, show me the AI best picks. And really, what I would hope for is that there's a nice kind of even amount of photos with a little something from every group. And you can see where there is a cluster. Oh, this is cool. Okay. The cluster shows up down here. Now we can make this a little bigger. Didn't really make the thumbnails bigger, but okay. And let's go ahead and enter survey mode. Okay, so I'm in survey mode now, and before I even look at what it did is, okay, so this is a cluster, but this is a part of the 20, correct? All right, her eyes are closed. Her eyes are closed. All right, this one's good. This one's acceptable. And what I would like to see, I'm gonna uncheck the AI best picks. I want to see, yeah, that's not a good one. This is where we're gonna actually like pick apart its selections a little bit. This it gave 5 stars. This it gave 5. Okay, I would agree with this one for sure. And by the way, it looks like it grouped 21 photos. Okay, so there's a 21 photo cluster here. Yep. Okay, so you can see that 21 of 21 right here. So let's take a look at what it left out. So it gave this a 3. I don't hate that photo. So that's good. And by the way, I do want to see, did it give any of this 21 okay, yes, there are some that didn't get any. So let's really like take a look. All right, this one it gave a 3. I would not have picked that one. That's a 3. Okay, no, with the eyes closed on him, that's pretty bad. That's a 3. I would agree. Okay, that's a 3. I don't love that photo because of the arm and the elbow sticking out, but all right. This photo to me would have been in the 5-star group. Because I don't even see if, I don't need to see his face. Now I wonder if, let's uncheck that. I'm going to go ahead and just personally hit 5 on this and change it myself. Okay, no, no. That's a definite no, and that one did not get even put in the candidate group. So it basically either is not selected, a, a candidate, or one of the best picks, right? Those are the categories. All right, that was a good one to not select. Also, would this one have counted into if I show the blurred photos? Yep, perfect. Okay, so it did recognize that as a blur. That one did not get selected. I'm not crazy about that one. I could have almost seen this one becoming a 3-star candidate, but it got 0. That's a 0. 0 as it should be, as it should be, as it should be. 0. Actually, this was a 1 of 1. It didn't even group it into the others. Okay, so we've already gone through the 21. So I'll say that there was one photo in there that it gave a 3-star, which I think was worthy of 5 stars. I think it was this photo. Okay. All right, so that's the photo that I personally think it overlooked. Now, one thing I want to know is, yeah, see, I don't like that. I don't like that. But remember, I did tell it if one person's eyes are closed or one person's eyes are open, consider it. So maybe in the next time I did it, I would tell you what. Um, I also said pick more front-facing photos. Let's do something. I'm gonna change this because I am gonna have photos where somebody's head is turned, and I can see that if you were doing group photos for a wedding or something, you don't want some random person looking to the side. And what was the thing about closed eye detection? Yeah, yeah, I do want that on there with photos over, and you can say skip detection if they're so if their eyes are closed but they're laughing, then it's okay. If their eyes are if there's somebody has closed eyes and there's 10 people and like, okay, so 1 out of the 10 people had their eyes closed, you could skip it for that. So that makes sense. Um, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna run it one more time. Oh, and we're gonna say 20. And this time we are not putting front, facing photo priority on here. Okay. So, wait, hold on. Let's go to AI's best picks. Okay, good. This is actually great. So now it pulled in the photo that I liked that did not get selected. So for this kind of lifestyle campaign where, it's not, hey, everybody say cheese because it's supposed to be a little more natural. So somebody could be naturally head turned looking at another person. That's a good reason to skip that setting for AI culling. Okay. So cool. Good. That's the one. That one's okay. Yeah, there weren't a lot of great. I mean, to be honest, I don't even think from this batch of photos that I gave it, there were like some real killers. That's the best one. That one's okay. I wish that got picked. It did get a 3-star. I think it wouldn't hurt to maybe go into your candidates and just do a quick scan and see if there was like something really nice in there that got skipped. But like that's pretty good. I would actually I'm gonna give that a 5. That's pretty good. I'm gonna give that. By the way, I think as with all AI stuff, if you are in a rush and like you don't have time to get involved in manual selections and you're maybe already planning to over deliver, right? Um, then I think from what I've seen so far, it looks like it could be safe to trust these selections of the AI, right? On the other hand, I personally, whether it's like I'm having an email written through Claude or I'm using this for AI culling, I would still do my own, just like when I do retouching in Evoto, I still do a pass. Like even if I sync it across a bunch of photos and it should look good, I don't just fully trust that everything worked perfect. I still give it a quick little pass. So I think what you could do is look at the best picks and the candidates, or turn off the best picks, go through the candidates and just do a quick sweep and be like, was there anything great? And you could probably move pretty fast expecting to see a bunch of like mediocre crap, right? So those were the two that I said, no, those could stay. Like actually, I'm gonna even just do that really quick and see if there's any great photos in here. Like, no, that's weird with this. Eh, I do like that. But I'm now curious. Okay, before I do this, let's just see what the best picks are. Ooh, wait a minute. Here's a little issue I just ran into. I said give me 20 photos. I got nothing back from the car photos. So it looks like one thing you cannot assume is that it even thinks you did a great job of a particular set of images. It's beautiful people. Shame people are photobombing and ruining the view. Okay, so that that's another thing I think you're going to have to look for is when I go into candidates, there's an entire set here with the car. And I'm going to be honest for a second. I think this is the photo. Watch this. Cuz remember, this is a shoot I've already done. So like I kind of know what's in there. If I go to my site, hold on, it's not that one. I'm going to show you in a second. Oh man, hold on. I'm going to go to not so I'm going to include not selected for a second and you'll see why. Come on, where is it? What the heck? I think it's, no, that's not it. It's the hand down. Man, I cannot find it for the life of me. Well, what I was trying to show you, there is a photo that is like very similar to this that I put on my on my website as like one of my portfolio images. And I think it may not have made the cut. But actually, I don't even see it in here. I don't know why that is. Maybe when I imported these photos, I didn't grab the entire shoot. But anyways, Oh, no, I think I see why here. It's because there are these little clusters. No, this is just a repeat of what's over here. So, okay, got it. All right. Well, anyways, I must not have uploaded every single one of them. It looked like that one, kind of, but all right. So let's go back to AI's best picks. That is one issue. Is it did not pick anything from that group, but again, yeah, I would never just like walk away and assume. Um, okay, that's a pretty good one. I like that photo, and that's a good one. But let's see what was rejected. Okay. All right, so it picked this one. Yeah, wait, right? Let me see. AI's best picks. Hold on. Why does this say it's a 3-star? Shouldn't all AI best picks be 5 stars? Oh, because it's one of one. So it thinks that that's the only one like that, even though really, I don't know why that one has a 5-star on it. Interesting. Okay. Sam, do we still have you here? If we do have you here, we have Sam from Evoto was in the chat. Why would a 5-starred image? I can see it's got 5 stars. I did not give it 5 stars. Not be a part of the AI's best picks. In fact, why would there even be? Well, okay, if it's one, if it was only one photo of the cluster, I get that it could end up giving me some 3 stars. Interesting. All right, so here we go. Let's see what stuff didn't make the cut. No. I agree with that one. That's a good one. And okay, I okay, that's the one it picked, right? Let's double check. Nope, it's he's looking right at the camera. Okay. Okay, cool. Agreed. That is the better one. This one he's like got a crazy face on. All right. It did a I think actually did a great job on that set. All right, let's hop over to here. Let's look at AI's best picks and see what we got. We got that one. That one, she looks a little confused. And my assistant is pushing in from the side there. That's a little awkward with the hand. And I don't love that. Okay, so let's see. Or there's some winners in there that got overlooked. So that's a no, that's a no. I'd call that a maybe. It got a candidate position. No, no, no. No, no. By the way, there it's very possible that there were no like amazing photos in this. I don't. Yeah, see that one got selected. That's kind of a strange one. That actually would have been maybe a little better, even though it's like it looks very staged. I mean, I'm gonna tell you if I honestly think that they're all kind of crap from this particular angle. Yeah, I don't think there were really any amazing photos in there, so it kind of gave it. By the way, when I was grabbing photos, I was kind of pulling them out of a folder. So there were like really wide shots and close up shots. I just pulled the ones that were kind of like a little tighter. So to be honest, there might not have been really like that one's good. I'd agree that that was probably the best one in there. And that one's okay, but the hands are really bad positions. Okay, I like that one. It did pick that. Let's see what else was in that group. That one, that one is not good. That's not good. This is when I brought in the strobe, so yes, that's better. So I do like that. It gave this one a maybe. This one got a maybe. And I like that we can do the compare photos and see them all on screen. Um, and you can see the little AI symbol. That means that that was the selected photo. And the rest got the 3 stars. Okay. So, because to me, that's a no. That's a no. I'm just really seeing if yeah, that's a no. So that was pretty good. That was good. That was good. And it chose the one where, see, in these two, both faces were away from the camera. This one, at least there's one face to the camera. So I think that's how it made its decision. I'd agree with that. Okay, cool. Let's go back to AI best picks. Oh, and actually, before I do, I just want to see what did it skip? Was it okay? That's a no. All right, so here's this little family section. By the way, they might all be crap. Again, I just pulled random little chunks out of this shoot. So I was indiscriminately tossing photos into this. And without looking at what it picked, I'm going to just tell you what I would have picked out of these, even though they might all be kind of like blah. I like that one ish. Uh, that's probably the one. You got a lot of faces to the camera. Okay, and was it? Hold on. AI best picks. Nope, it chose this one, where a lot of all the faces are turned away from the camera. So I don't agree with that choice. And then these are the candidates, and within the candidates, you have the one I picked. Okay, I think it's really safe to say, like, if you're probably the smartest way to use this is if you know your goal is to show the client 50 photos, then have the AI culling cap out at I'd probably say 75, and then you trim from there. Um, and you'd probably not miss out on any majors. I love, okay, comment from Niall says, I love that it shows what a headshot crop could be from the photos as I call by. Some of my all-time favorite images I've taken are when I get a headshot crop out of a wider shot, and the Evoto cull window makes it more likely I'll catch those hidden gems. Yeah, you know, that's not what it's for. It's really to just show you like who is in the photo and give you this quick, like a quick view, I think, of one, like for this photo, it's easy to see like overall, like how are all my faces looking without looking at the entire photo. I think that's actually pretty cool. Oh, and I like how it's even telling me with the icon that it's out of focus and eyes are closed. This one's out of focus. These are in focus. Out of focus, eyes closed. In focus, in focus. Okay. All right. So again, let's see. We have this. By the way, did it pick any of those? Okay, so it actually didn't go with any of those, like to keep. Like I like that one, except he's doing a double chin. And again, that's a good way to look at the photos because you can just see up here, like, ooh, like that's not a good close up. Nobody's totally off here. That's a little bit of a strange face he's making. This one's great. And that one's pretty good for like realism. So see, I would even say, oh, let's keep this. And actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna say this one. It's a little more of the scene. This one's kind of a funny crop. She's chopped off. Everybody's a little chopped. This photo's chopped. This one's not bad. Actually, I would keep this one. Now, what I am curious of is there any like in the not selected category from that little section? No, this was out of focus on my adults, which, yeah, I would still consider them the subject. I'm happy with its choice to overlook that. All right, let's take a quick look here. Now, it only gave me back one from the scene. I do like this photo. Let's see where the candidates come in. No. No, 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 no. Yeah, that was a good move. Not bad. I kind of like that. I'm gonna give that a little upgrade to a 5. Okay. And moving on to this little dock scene. These are the chosen photos. That's kind of a weird one. By the way, I think this is actually really the way to look at this is typically I would be trying to narrow, the thousands of photos down to a reasonable amount of proofs for the client to look at. So I think 10% of the shoot is a fair amount. And in this case, we are actually narrowed down to about 10%. So maybe if you did 15 or 20% of the shoot and you cap it there, it's probably unlikely you could probably trust the decisions, send them to the client, and you will have not sent them too many photos, and you probably didn't miss any like real winners in there. So I could see this that you could probably trust it if you just go a little over what you might normally cull to without like having to manually go through. And maybe if there was anything to manually scan, I might only just scan the candidates. So you don't have to look at these 59 or these 20. You really get to, yeah, you get to see about half of the shoot instead of the whole shoot. If you wanted to take the extra step to look at candidates, I don't think that's a horrible idea. It's pretty good. That's good. Okay, it got me some good photos out of there. And let's see what it didn't give me from the candidates section. Yeah, there's nothing in there that I think is better than what it selected. Like when they're just looking opposite ways. Okay, let's go back to AI selections. So yeah, I'm happy with those. Actually did a good job. And then let's see about these last two. Okay, cool. Let's uncheck this and see what we missed. Okay, I would not have. She looks miserable. Um, oh, that was close. Her eyes weren't closed. Why is she looking at me? She's like she's staring at his neck. Okay. All right. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna agree. There was nothing in there. There was nothing in that little batch. Now, again, this was like a little tiny chunk I pulled out of that. Gonna defend myself. There was something in the shoot, just not in that chunk. Okay. Moving on. Okay. Yeah, these are all kind of goofy. Yeah, I'm gonna say that it picked the. Let's go back to AI. Yeah, I think it got good ones there. So look at it. I think it did a pretty good job. And I think the way to use it is to just go a little past where you might normally go with the number of proofs that you pull from a shoot. I think it's probably a good idea to sort of have an idea of like what percentage of shoots you send over to clients. Again, my number is about 10%. So if I do it, maybe 15. So if I shot 1,000 photos, yeah, you're going to see 100 to 150. So 10 to 15%. And then if I were to use this to pull the proofs, I'd probably tell it, give me 200, give me the best 200 out of it. Yeah. I'm actually going to try this on my next full shoot and I'm going to do exactly that and see what it gets me. Okay, cool. So that is the AI culling. Now, one thing I am curious about is if I put a filter on and I said, show me the 5-star photos. So you see, that's where I'm now seeing the ones that I added in here. Okay. So remember, there were a few photos that it gave 3 stars, and I was like, no, I like that. I'm going to give it 5. So now we see there's 26 photos in this batch. When I just go to AI pics, oops. Strangely, AI Picks includes some 3-star photos, so I'm not sure why it does that. There, now it shows me all 20. Picture rejected, unlabeled. Okay. Yep. All right. So there is the AI culling. Now let's take my 26. Remember, I threw a few back into the pile. So I'm going to go ahead and say, show me all 5 stars, as well as, oh, no, it's not going to, oh, I can't do that, huh? Okay, so here's a little interesting thing that, let me clear all the filters. So here's the AI's 20 photos. I think what I need to do now is say select all of them. And I want to basically say, yeah, these are photos that I want to move forward with. So these are going to get picked. So how do I tell it these are picked? Well, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna say, all right, give these all, I'm gonna hit a 5 and make sure they all become, hmm. Yeah, my issue in here is that some of these photos like this has a 3 star, even though it was one of the AI's chosen photos. So I'm not sure why a couple of the AI photos only got 3 stars. It's kind of bizarre. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say that's a 5. Because what I want to do is I want to be able to just say, okay, I added some of my own 5 star choices. So when I show all 5 stars, I wanted to include the AI selections and my personal 5 star picks. Okay, so they're all 5s now. Now I have, yeah, and strangely, there's some of the candidates that have 5 stars. Very bizarre. Okay. All right, well, let's move forward and see about doing editing on these, and let's try to make this like the fastest thing we've ever done. Um, I'm going to first start with auto white balance or AI white balance. Okay, that did a pretty good job. And we're going to, if I select, let me see here, AI color adjustments. Okay, so there's a new feature. It's called multi-image color consistency. I'm also going to try auto color correction. And then we're going to just say match. So yes, apply across my selected photos. So this second photo should get the same kind of color and consistency. But I think what will also happen is as I do a little more editing to the first photo, by the way, let's go back to library mode and see them side by side. I'm like looking at the sky. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to edit, and I'm gonna really I'm gonna tune this one up the way I would want it. And here is how I would do that really quickly. I would kind of watch them on when I'm playing with the exposure and kind of just overall what looks good. All right, then I'm gonna bump the contrast a little bit, pull back the highlights a little bit, pull out the shadows a little. I'll jump right down into maybe a little clarity, a little vibrance, a little saturation. Now, I know I also want to change the white balance, cool it off a little. By the way, when I do color, I like to change to white, and then it's much easier to see against like a neutral white on screen. Too much right there, I think is good. And let's do the same thing. I just pull it one way. Nope, too far. Go the other way. No, and then I just go right in the middle. Okay, cool. And curves, I like to switch and get out of the training wheels mode. I don't like that. So I go here. Let's pull the shadows up a little bit. Pull the midtones down a little bit. That's just kind of my preference style. And the highlights up a hair. And we're looking pretty good. And let's see, is there anything else I want to do in here? I have automatic lens correction on. I might even add a little texture on there. Sure, why not? Yeah, let's do that. And I'm gonna even add a little extra sharpening. Let's go in and just see if it overdoes it. Hold on. This is if I crank it up. Oh no, not doing that. Let's go. I'm gonna keep it. I think that it was actually at about 40. And one thing I do like to do is sort of target just the skin tones kind of easily, for uh, this couple to just go to the oranges basically. And I know that this is going to it will affect like the sand maybe a little bit, but I'm not going to do anything so drastic. I'm going to go to saturation and just take that down a hair and even go to luminance and maybe just give them a little tan. There we go. All right. By the way, there are new features in the AI, or sorry, in the masking settings, where you can basically now start to add different masks. So like if I go to linear gradient, so see now I'm combining the subject mask with a linear gradient, so you can stack masks, which is very cool. And that would be great if I decided that, you know what, I don't want, no, actually, I'll tell you what I would probably do here. I know exactly what I would do here and how I would use that for this particular photo. I would want to try to just get the sky. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back for a second. I'm going to I want to get rid of this mask. Okay, so here's my masks. Let's delete this mask. Okay. Okay. So here's my thought. Like, what if I want to just maybe brighten the water? Everything, I don't want to touch the sky. I don't want to touch them. I just want to catch the water. Okay. So here's how I think I could do that. I'm going to say create a background mask. Oh, it actually does have the water, but I'll tell you what, I'm gonna say no, I want the water and the dock to be brighter. So here's how I'm thinking we do it. We do entire background. Boom, create mask. But now I'm gonna subtract the sky from this, okay? So we're gonna edit this mask, and now we're gonna say subtract. Nope, we don't wanna do that. Let's do this. There we go. I think that is a good way to do it. Okay, and now if we go to basic, I could work on that alone. And then another move I could do is I can create a new mask. And we're going to say sky this time. And I'm going to brighten that up a little bit. And maybe even like pull out those shadows a little. And I might even desaturate it a hair. So rather than say desaturate the blues in this photo, and then what I might do is one more. Let's see, create a mask. And are all of my masks showing up here? Yes, they are. Okay, great. We're going to do one more, and we're going to say, how about this? How about we just want to do her, entire person, about just all skin. And we wanted to make her about the same. There we go. Very natural. But no, like, let's just say we wanted to kind of get her in sync with him. Okay. So there's where we are. All right. Looking good. By the way, I'm having a little second thought on when I went in here. Oops, I want to be on the full image. Okay, I almost messed up and was working on the mask still. I'm gonna say, yeah, don't take away the saturation in the oranges. Or no, it wasn't the saturation. That was fine. That was the luminance. Okay, there we go. There's saturation. Boom. All right. Yeah. She just looks a little like yellow to me or something. Let's just do it here. Yeah, I think I needed to just pull that a little into the pink region. Cool. All right, so look at these photos are about the same, or they are. They're shot in the same setting. I'm gonna go to. Oh, by the way, one more thing. Let's do a quick retouch here, and we're gonna just say all, and I'm gonna use my preset for the sake of time, and it should clean them up pretty nicely. Remember, don't judge that. This is actually not a great photo. And their eyes are closed. Hers are, at least. Okay. Cool. That looks pretty good. And then I'm going to go ahead and sync this. So let's just do this. AI color adjustments, sure, blah, 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 blah. Mask sync mode. Let's say replace existing masks. No, wait, no, we'll just do add to. There's none on there, so boom. I'm curious to see how it handles some of those masks where we subtracted and did a little extra. What happened here? Oh, I didn't hit sync yet. Okay, there we go. All right. I went to the settings and I did not hit sync. All right. So this, okay. Let's see. Let's see what we got going on with masks. Okay, so that was that mask. That was the sky. Actually, wow, it did a pretty. Okay, I have to look now. Like it made extra masks. I'm not sure why I did that. Interesting. And this one, okay, these had the same thing. That's kind of bizarre. I'm gonna reset this whole image and I just want to say, hey, sync up again. But why did it do all these like crazy masks that I didn't ask for on that one, but not on the others? Okay, because that looks great. That looks great. And now that looks good. Okay, I'm not sure what happened, but that was the one I liked. Now, I think this is where you would also go in and fix some things. So, like the shine there. Um, I think also I would be in, no, let's try something. AI Unify Face Complexion. I'm just going to crank that up. Okay, that's not really doing anything. And lastly, let's do this. I want to go to teeth whitening. Teeth desaturation. There we go. Let's do that. And brightness. There we go. That looks great. Okay. I like that. I did a nice job on the little stray hairs. I mean, even when we get in there, looking at, oh, the clothing setting for fixing the edges, edge smoothing. Not always a great idea. Okay, this photo actually came out great. And let's see how this one is. This one looks good as well. By the way, since I made some of those teeth adjustments, I would just go ahead and sync that. Oh man, okay, these got a little too white here. All right, I think that looks natural. Okay, cool. All right, that looks good. Moving on. Now, here is going to be an interesting thing. I'm going to say, go ahead and do the multi-image color consistency. So let's just see if we can get consistency in a totally different scene. Actually, did it create its own masks? Oh, it did. Okay, so that's pretty cool that when it does this, it really like goes to town on masking the image to try to stay consistent with your other images. Wow. I actually really like how that turned out. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Because here, let's do something. Let's create, this is new, by the way. Oh, let me get one photo selected. Let's create a virtual copy. And this one should be like fully reset. Let's go ahead and reset it. All right. So this has nothing done to it. This has like this whole effect done. Okay, right? So there's the raw, there's the color matched. If I were to take, what would be a good example? Say what, I'm gonna just try to quickly color this one the way I would see fit. You know, it would be a fun stream tonight. Have everyone share their best self-made iPhone wallpaper. It could be fun to include widgets and lock screen design along with the photo. I'd love to see everyone's favorite wallpaper background. Just saying. I'm up for that. If you guys want to send me your favorite wallpaper photos, you could just DM it to me on Instagram. I pull them up. Okay, let's see here. So here's what I would do. I would go in on that. In fact, you know what the hard part about this photo is? This was shot with a strobe, and then there's the natural light, and it's a little, I feel like it's a little hot on the subjects. So I would end up having to do some masking, and I gotta say, it actually kind of did that for me pretty well. Wait, let's switch back to white here for a second. I, okay, I'm gonna go there with it, and then I'm gonna pull up. All right, that looks pretty good. And curves, I'm gonna do my little moves here. Something like that. And then we're gonna go here and go to saturation. And something like that. So that's basically what I did before. And let's see in that one step color match how close it got. And let's actually look at them at the same time. I think I like I have a little more detail in my background, but damn, it's pretty close for skipping all of the extra effort. And I would actually say mine, the subjects are a little dark. So, okay, I'm gonna give it to the multi-image color consistency match is pretty long and hard to say, but works pretty well. Okay. All right, now let's do the same. Let's just pull this last photo that I just did on my own, and I'm gonna do the color match here as well. Let's try it. So I'm assuming it's making all kinds of crazy masks and saying, well, the people in this photo look like this, so we're gonna make her look like that. The background looks like this. And wow, look at, holy moly. What did it even, it made the hair, what? Okay. I don't even know what that one is. That's the face skin. Wow, it really, okay, I do like that. Holy. Okay, I will say that is pretty impressive. I might just tweak the, wow. Okay, it did a lot of work in one touch. That's not bad. And if it gets you like 90% there, I'm going to go ahead and just hit sync on this. Now, hopefully, when I did the sync, man, that actually looks really good. I mean, this is not a great photo. The pose is weird, but color-wise, I like what it did. Actually, I like what it did a lot, to be honest. All right, let's just say go. Yeah, go for it on these. Do the same thing, match it. Hmm. Okay, not as impressed there. I I think it did a great job there. Nice. Actually, yes, really nice. Yeah, that the background was just they were like looked like they were cut out, and now they look like they're part of the environment. So not too shabby. Okay, let's. I wanted to sort of see what did it do here. No, I don't really know what these masks did. Okay, see, like I'd actually. Uh, all right, I don't like that it did that to their skin. All right, that's not bad. This is a mask of the entire background. So like maybe even with this one, you could say like, no, pull out the shadows, but like show me the other stuff. There we go. And I would even say the one where it worked on them. All persons clothes. Okay. Yeah, I'd keep them nice and bright. Okay, cool. And let's just try to go with the same color consistency here, even though it's sort of like a totally different, it's an indoor scene. Okay. Um, looking and checking out what it did here. It did a lot. And the only thing to me is it looks like I'm gonna go to full image. It just looks like it could be a little warmer. All right, that looks good. And lastly, I'm gonna say use this to match these and go for it. By the way, it should be including the retouching, right? Is it? Oh no, I'm only doing the color match. Okay. So I got to do one other thing at the end here. Before and after. I like that. Before, after. And before, after. I'm happy with those. Before and after. Great job. Okay. That looks really good. And let's just do one more match on these. from the other indoor scene. So we're matching to these last two photos. And we're going to see what it does with all of its crazy masking. Holy, okay, wow. So there's like the whole background. Interesting what it did. Okay. It took some creative liberties on this one. Oh, I'm on full image. Okay, I wanted to go here and then do this. All right, I don't. Well, it turned it from like a night scene to a day scene. But granted, that's what I asked it to do, right? It actually, if we're talking about what I asked, which was to match the other image, it did a pretty good job. I don't know why the preview's not pulling in here. Oh, there it goes. Shit, I did not think about. I'm like, no, I was asking it to match a scene, not to just, make it look decent like the other one did. It actually did a really good job of matching the scene. Like the cabinets are the same color now. Wow. Wow. Okay. That was sort of an accidental thing, and it actually it performed quite well. Interesting. Okay. One other thing I did want to test here is there is the new. What are we on? Oh, I want to be on full image. And where is it? Detail, noise reduction. Oh, AI noise is new. Let's turn that on. It's doing an AI denoise. And let's see how it does. I do recall these were shot pretty. There we go. Okay. Let's look at where the noise was. Oh. Let's see if we can see in an area that it wasn't too noisy. Was it? Yeah. You know what would be nice? Let's do this. Instead, let's take one that completely reset image, and let's do the AI denoise, and we're gonna go in. There we go. Yeah, we'll see it here. Let's run it. Okay, I'm gonna say I'm actually not mad at that. Wow, it did a pretty pretty damn good job of like recreating his wrinkles, sort of like getting rid of the noise. Like, okay, I let's go down in the shadows here. Before, after. That's pretty clean and without giving it just that weird smooth effect. Okay, I don't know why it plays that video. Something's messed up with that. Anyways, um, all right, so there we go. We got the 20 photos. The only thing I didn't do was I didn't apply the retouching. So let's just make sure I don't do the color adjustments and I just want the retouching to sync across all of them. And now, even on those, we're going to look at those last ones. So these are all of my 5-star images. Wait, hold on. Did I even have, yes. All right, I'm just trying to figure out the images I was just looking at, like this one. Oh, there it is. Okay, there it goes. It just didn't pop in. Yep. Teeth, under the eyes, blemishes, double chin. Not that he has a double chin, but skin looking really good. Armpit, stray hairs, eyes, solid. Okay. And that should apply all the way out to these. Okay, a little bizarro with the color match. That's not did a really good job of color matching, but it's actually not what I meant to achieve. Everybody in my preset gets a little hairline. Oh, I'm not showing right now, am I? Sorry. Here we go. Okay, so I was showing these a second ago, just making sure that the retouch went through. Did looks good. That's the little chin I was talking about. Arm hair, armpit, and I showed this one. Sorry, I didn't switch the screen back, but you see, little. I don't go crazy on the male face retouching. See how we're looking here. Oh, good. It even did the glasses glare. I have that in my preset. And oh, let's see how it did on the multi face photos. Boom. Looks good. Looks good. Nice. And here, you know what? On this one, let's just do this. Let's take that hair up a bit. Oh wait. Uh, there we go. Yep. Okay. There we go. That's what I wanted. Actually did a really good job. The stray hair keeps getting better and better. You kind of would see these like little ghost hairs before, and I'm not really seeing that at all. That's great. Cool. All right, this is whining me. Okay, cool. Yeah, these look good. That was pretty quick. And if I did an export, the last thing I wanted to show was there is a new. We go to custom export. The export window keeps giving you more and more options, which I really like. And I like that we now have export presets and they're over here. This is just getting a little more familiar to people who use Lightroom and Capture One. The export settings were a little lacking prior to this, and they are up to speed now. So you can also create an Evoto Instant Online Gallery. So now you can create a link where these photos exist. I'm not going to go into that on this stream because that'll just turn us into another half hour of me slowly going through Evoto. But yeah, and also we now have PNGs. And if you do PNGs, you can also do your PNGs will also get if I'm correct on this. In fact, actually let's just try it for a second. If I took this photo, now let's take this one, okay? And this is gonna be the last little thing here. We're just gonna go transparent background. And if I export this one photo, let me make sure I only have one, to my desktop. Nope. That's not what I want to do. Actually, you know what? Export and share. Get a link. Shit, you know what? Let's just do it. Where's this going to go? I want it to go to my desktop. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm messing with one of my presets. We're going to call this PNG to desktop. So we're going to say desktop, subfolder, Evoto. Create Evoto Instant Online Gallery. So, okay, I don't want that on my prior, on my, okay, there we go. We're going to do that with this one. We're going to just say go for it. Original file name, PNG, boom, 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 no watermark. And export. Okay. Oh, that's another shoot. All right. It should be popping out here in a second. Let's see the progress. I wonder if it takes a little longer because I'm telling it to create a gallery. Okay. I guess my only question is, where the heck does the... So yeah, that's something I wanted to point out. Now you can get transparent PNGs. I think that's fairly new, which is pretty cool. But my real question is, where the heck is the... I exported a gallery, correct? So I believe this is it. Click here to manage images on Evoto Instant. All right. Check the online gallery link to share. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's what I want. Copy. And I'm gonna pull open I want to see what this looks like now. Link not found. Hold on a second. Cloud settings, cloud sync, Joey documents. All right, let's just go to here. Purpose, blah, 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 connect camera, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Why not have acceleration on? Okay. No, not now, later. Okay. All right, so let's just check this again. Click here to manage the galleries. I have a feeling I'm gonna open this up and okay. So here, I'm gonna show you what this looks like. We must be in my start the workflow. Okay, boom. Okay, so if I wanted to share this, if I copy this link and I paste it, oh man, come on. What is my password? Um, ooh, gallery branding. I'll have to get into this later. Okay. I don't, um, let's back out of here for a second. Okay, so we have marquee, settings, and start date, end date. I don't care about that. Here's the password. I don't want a password. Okay, let's try it again. And so this is what a client would see. There we go. Obviously, you want to go in here and fix all this. You know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna pop open Joey's downloads and do my logo. Let's save that. Youth. Okay. All right. Cool. Bottom banner. Where does that? Oh, let's just do the same logo. Up, yep, it's down at the bottom. Okay, cool. I'm good with that for now. Save. And let's go back over here. Let's refresh it. Big old logo. Personally, I would Let's refresh this. I don't know where my logo went at the bottom, but maybe that's just on the phone. Let's just see. Let's see if we go into, holy, found the glitch. All right. And there's the photo and they can download. Cool. Okay. So now you can do proofing out of Evoto. And you know, I'll be honest, like this is getting closer and closer. I like the idea that this could hopefully replace, I use Pixie Set for my proofing. One thing that is nice is I can sell the images out of that. So I think that's something they're working on, is the ability to sell your images. Let me save this. Share. Let me just see here. Domain settings, standard, white label, custom, show gold font. What is cool is there's the find me, where if this was like an event and there's 1,000 photos in there, that you'd be able to find yourself out of all the photos and not see the other people. So that's what that option is for. Yeah. So, anyways, there's more stuff in here. It's pretty wild actually how fast they are. Oh, and you know why the colors look crazy? Because I'm looking at this with my. There we go. I have this nighttime Chrome extension installed. Now, with that said, let me see what the actual gallery looks like. Okay, so this is what it looks like. All right, the real move is create your own custom banner. I just did a very rushed version of that. Yeah. Yeah, that would be worth taking a moment to put something in there. Some kind of like maybe a little collage of your photos. What's the default? Nope, we don't want that. Okay. All right. Well, guys, I think my brain is fried. Um, there's a lot going on with Evoto right now. So I hope that is helpful for some of you to see. I'm going to get out of here before my head explodes. All right. Well, for my Evoto demo on YouTube, I'm cutting it there. If you didn't learn something, well, I don't know what to tell you, because I just learned a lot through that process. So, anyways, all right, cutting it. We're going to the after hours on the live stream, and see how much steam I still have in me. Join me next time, my YouTubers.